Imagine for a moment that you've just been handed a magical seed. You're told that if you plant this seed today and give it just a little bit of water every week, it will eventually grow into a massive tree that produces $100 bills instead of leaves. But there's a catch. The magic only works if the seed is planted while the soil is at a very specific temperature, a temperature that only exists during a short window of time in your life. If you wait too long, the soil cools down, and while the seed might still grow, it will never become that towering, money-producing giant. It will just be a small, struggling shrub. Most people in their 20s are standing in that perfect soil, holding that magical seed in their hands. But instead of planting it, they're staring at it, thinking, I'll plant this later. Right now, I need to go buy a better-looking shovel. This isn't just a metaphor for investing. It's a description of the most expensive mistake you can possibly make. It's a mistake that 90% of people make, not because they are lazy or unintelligent, but because of a specific psychological blind spot that is hardwired into the human brain. Today, we're going to talk about the time value illusion. We're going to explore why your 20s are the most financially powerful years of your entire life, and why the things you do with your money today are literally worth 10 times more than the things you'll do in your 40s. When you're 22, 25, or even 28, life feels incredibly long. You're just starting your career, you're finally making your own money, and for the first time, you have the freedom to spend it. The common belief, the one that 90% of people fall for, is that your 20s are for living and your 30s are for saving. We tell ourselves stories like, I'm not making enough money yet to invest. I'll start once I pay off my student loans. I want to enjoy my youth while I have it. I'll get serious about money when I'm 35. On the surface, this sounds logical, but this is actually a psychological trap called hyperbolic discounting. This is a fancy way of saying that our brains are naturally biased towards small rewards right now rather than much larger rewards later. To your brain, the $50 you spend on a night out tonight feels much more real and valuable than the $5,000 that same $50 could have become 30 years from now. Because you can't see your 50-year-old self, your brain treats that person like a complete stranger. This is the someday delusion. But here is the cold, hard financial truth. Your future self might have more money, but they will never have more time. And in the world of wealth building, time is the only thing that cannot be replaced. Think of wealth building like a snowball rolling down a hill. To make a massive snowball, you need two things: a long hill and a lot of snow. The snow is the money you contribute, but the length of the hill is time. If you start at the very top of a mountain in your early 20s, you have a massive hill in front of you. Even a tiny, hand-sized snowball has so much time to roll that it eventually becomes an unstoppable avalanche. Let's look at two friends, Ben and Arthur. Ben starts investing at age 20. He puts away $2,000 every year for just 8 years. By the time he's 28, he stops entirely. Total contribution? $16,000. Arthur waits. He wants to live a little. He starts at age 28. Arthur invests that same $2,000 every single year until he retires at age 65. He does this for 37 years straight. Total contribution? $74,000. Now, who has more money at retirement? Most people would say Arthur, but because Ben started 8 years earlier, his snowball had a longer hill. At age 65, Ben, the guy who only invested for 8 years in his 20s, actually has more money than Arthur, who invested for nearly 4 decades. That is the power of your 20s. You are making the hill shorter, and no amount of extra snow later in life can ever fully make up for that lost distance. So why don't we see this? It's because the cost of waiting is invisible. When you decide to wait one more year to start investing, you don't feel the hundreds of thousands of dollars you just deleted from your future. Imagine you're building a tower of blocks, and every year you get to double the number of blocks you have. In year 1, you have 1 block. Year 2, 2. Year 3, 4. By year 10, you have 512 blocks. But by year 20, you have over 500,000 blocks. If you wait just 1 year to start, you don't just lose that first block. You lose that entire final doubling at the end. Instead of 500,000 blocks, you'd only have 250,000. Waiting just 1 year in your 20s can literally cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in your 60s. That is the most expensive night out you will ever buy. The good news is that because 90% of people are making this mistake, you have a massive opportunity to get ahead just by doing the bare minimum. Here is the 3-step plan. Number 1, the automatic seed rule. Don't wait until the end of the month to see what's left over. Set up an automatic transfer the day you get paid. Even if it's just $25 or $50. The goal in your 20s isn't to get rich today. It's to build the habit of rolling the snowball. Number 2, focus on time in the market, not timing the market. A lot of 20-somethings wait for the perfect moment. This is a trap. The perfect time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. Number 3, redefine enjoying your youth. When you start in your 20s, you are buying your future self a get-out-of-jail-free card. True enjoyment is the freedom to choose your own path, and that freedom is bought in your 20s. If you are in your 20s, you are standing in that perfect soil right now. You have the most powerful wealth-building tool in existence: time. To a 50-year-old billionaire, you are the luckiest person in the world. They would trade all their money just to have the hill that you have in front of you right now. Don't be part of the 90%. Plant your seed today. It doesn't matter how small it is. Just put it in the ground and let time do the heavy lifting. Your 60-year-old self is waiting for you at the bottom of the hill. Are you going to send them an avalanche of wealth, or are you going to send them a struggle? The choice isn't something you'll make someday. It's a choice you make today.